Well, hi, and thanks for taking a little bit of time to join me today. If you saw my midweek pause last time, I was in the garden. It's a little too chilly for that this morning, so I'm in my house, and I'm going to share with you something from Rachel Held Evans' book, Inspired. And she uses this psalm to illustrate her point. Psalm 139. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I am still with you. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. These are verses we actually see printed on inspirational desk calendars and coffee mugs. But the rest of the psalm really takes a turn. If only you, God, would slay the wicked. Away from me, you who are bloodthirsty. They speak of you with evil intent. Your adversaries misuse your name. Do I not hate those who hate you, Lord, and abhor those who are in rebellion against you? I have nothing but hatred for them. I count them my enemies. Well, she goes on to say the notion that they only contain uplifting words of comfort and praise is one of the most common misconceptions about the Bible Psalms. I grew up in a fundamentalist and evangelical tradition that really didn't allow you to question God much. And if you did, and if you showed anger against God, they would say, well, you know, all things work together for good for them who love God. Or they would say, just have more faith. You need to trust the Bible. You need to trust God. Well, the Psalms really don't show us that, because they are brutally honest about how people are feeling at the moment. In that collection of 150 songs and poems served as the hymn book for post-exilic Judaism and as the prayer book for many in the Judeo-Christian traditions to this day. While certainly there are times of praise, shout for joy all the earth, they appear side by side with lament. I am worn out from my groaning. All night long I flood my bed with weeping and drench my couch with tears. Or confession, I know my transgression, and my sin is always before me. Or even anger, I cry out day by day, but you do not answer. Author and poet Kathleen Norris says the Psalms don't theologize or explain anger away. One reason for this is that the Psalms are poetry, and poetry's function is not to explain, but to offer images and stories that resonate with our lives. Rachel Held Evans writes, often I hear from readers who left their churches because they had no songs for them to sing after their miscarriage, the shooting, the earthquake, the divorce, the diagnosis, the attack, the bankruptcy. That American tendency toward triumphalism, of optimism rooted in success, money, and privilege, will infect and sap of substance any faith community has lost in its capacity for holding space for those in grief. As therapists and caregivers explain, to hold space for someone is to simply sit with them in their pain without judgment or solutions, and remain present and attentive no matter the outcome. The Psalms are, in a sense, God's way of holding space for us. They invite us to rejoice, wrestle, cry, complain, and offer thanks. So I don't know where you are in your journey today, but allow the Psalms to minister to you. And if you question God, it's fine. Or even if you're angry with God, we're human. and God can take it. So whether today you're praising or whether today you're lamenting, it's okay. Take out the Psalms, read them, and allow them to minister to you. Well, again, thanks for this little bit of time we had today, and I pray that this has been helpful, and I'll see you next time.